This exercise is going to be one of the ways that I get people to start having more awareness in their ability to breathe and expand into their backs. So when we think about breath work, when we think about breathing, we want lots of options for breathing. We don't just want to breathe one single way. A lot of people lose access to different directions, and then their breathing becomes more challenging, or they just start to rely on their accessory muscles like their neck muscles or their back lifting to get their diaphragm down to do the movement. This specific exercise is going to work on the mid back. You can place the band anywhere on the back that you would like to work on breathing into. Usually I have this in a place where people are having some pain or tension, but really it can also just be used as some tactile feedback for just learning the movement. So you're gonna place the band somewhere on your back, wherever the goal is. You're going to place a little bit of tension. You can either do that this way or you can cross in the front. The goal here is going to be start with your setup position. We don't want to be arched up here. You want your rib cage to be back. So I usually tell people to place their hand on their low backs and just press their spines into their hand. We want to do that without losing height in our skeleton. So stay long in the spine, just shift back. You should feel your weight kind of get into your sit bones. Then from there, you're going to focus on an inhale in through your nose with mouth closed, feeling the inhale expand into the band. Pause for just a second, then exhale. As you exhale, you're going to bring the ribs and the top of the pelvis towards each other, again, without crunching down. So we're just kind of exhaling and finding some of those obliques by thinking about bringing the ribs and pelvis together without crunching down. So exhale, that's what we're focusing on. Inhale is into the band. If this is new for you, you might just focus on breathing in to the band and then separately do work where you're focusing on the exhale. That's also fine. Eventually you can combine them because this is two things to work on in one exercise, which can be challenging. So again, place the band around the area you're working on. Inhale into it. Exhale. Pull the ribs down, pelvis towards each other, then inhale again. And you would repeat that or reset as needed. A lot of people will kind of feel like they get out of breath or feel like they lose the position. That's fine, just reset. It's better to have yourself in the good position than to feel like you need to connect the breaths, because every breath is just another rep or another movement in this skill that we're working on. For these, you have to be really consistent with them to make the progress. So they are usually done on a daily basis or just as often as you can, and think about it. And if it's kind of something that you are working on that is nagging or uncomfortable, more often is generally going to feel better. To start, you want to make sure the band is a little bit more thin, not too much resistance. That way you can just use it for feedback. But eventually, if you want to progress this, you can use a thicker band. It's just going to be more challenging in getting your air there. Last but not least, when you are breathing in, you don't want to breathe so hard and try with so much effort that everything is squeezed and you feel like you are just breathing really hard. So it shouldn't look like this. Right? The faster and harder you try, the more your brain's gonna take the path of least resistance. We wanna try with slow and low effort to just direct it where we're trying to direct it. It's the same with learning any type of movement. You can't force it, and you have to be really calm and gentle and slow first. So make sure you're really patient, make sure that you can feel what you need to feel, and that you're doing the breath work really slow and calm. And over time, you should feel like you get way more access to that movement. You won't need the band anymore. And a lot of the times that neck and back discomfort will slowly kind of get better as well.